Good morning, St. Francis, and good morning, people of God. It is Tuesday, the 22nd day of March, 2022. Tuesday of the third week of Lent, the 17th day of Lent. Coming to you from the covered walkway between Thea and Siena. You can see it below there. Okay. Because you can between Siena and Thea Halls, part of our the Franciscan School campus. Looking at our wetlands over one of our hedges, and there is one of our red buds. We have many different kinds of red buds that populate this entire campus over here. And as I am doing this, kindergarten or first grade, I believe it is probably coming down the way, ready for gym. So quick before they all get in the way. Little reflection today, basically on the two readings that we usually do. The first one is going to be on from the prophet Daniel, and this is where Azariah stands up in the fire that he has been thrown into with Hananiah and Mishael, and again to be destroyed. And he stands up and does this great prayer, asking God for help, and the recognition that the people of God, there they all are, they're going to gym, that the people of Israel have been reduced among any other nation, as Azariah says, because of their sins and their wickedness, and everything they have done wrong that has landed them in exile, landed them in a state of abandonment. They feel lost from their country, taken away from everything that they knew, and now they're in this very distressing position in time, and especially Hananiah, Azariah, and Mishael, because they are in this fiery furnace, because they refuse to follow the dictates of King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon, who wants them to eat meats that has been sacrificed to idols and things like that. And so a series of prayers will happen in the book of Daniel, and Daniel is a part of all of this too. God will deliver them all, not let the fiery furnace touch them, but it comes out of the acknowledgement that we need God's help. They need God's help. They need God's help. And they call upon God for that help and that assistance. And again, this is the wonderful way, again, that conversion, contrition, whatever you want to call it, works. It is not about taking punishments. It is about calling upon God for help to make things better, to make the world better, to make our lives better. That is the whole point, of this turning around, this turning away, this considering new things. In the same way, again, the gospel from Matthew, I believe it is, it has a parable in it, again, about the steward who was forgiven for his many debts, but then would not forgive his fellow stewards for even smaller debts that they owed him. And unfortunately, that steward, the master finds out, and the steward is now put into worse straits and put back into prison and things like that until he pays back the last penny. Again, the sense of forgiveness, It does not come from the heart, the gospel says. It is not forgiveness. It doesn't work. It doesn't cause any kind of healing, any kind of curing of faults and failings. It doesn't work to further us and transform us. The whole understanding of forgiveness is not to go back to where we were and to what we did before we asked for it, but to have a conversion of mind and heart, to be able to think differently, act differently, see the world differently. That is transformation in action. That is what God desires of all humanity, is to constantly be transformed again and again into what it is that God has created us to be. And may the Lord give you his peace.